let's go, let's go.
Good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock's crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now the king left and they so mad, it's like
good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
yeah, hey, look what I got. New whip with no top. Cooking up no stove top. Ice cold, no snowdrop. Big budget ass, big facts. Big money in the contract. Been running no contact. New record with the new tracks. Yeah, they been sending me new plaques. I don't really need new plaques. Nah, big rock with the suplex. Yeah, new rock got a new flex. Yeah, I'm current, I'm a new trend. Now boys with the full scent. Yeah, like I said, no new friends. We don't really need new friends.
Good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised. Go to the fucking gym.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
How dare you!
Bye.
Your fatphobia?
No! No!
People are suffering. People are dying.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States.
Swole normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, testing, testing. Test, 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 testing, testing, testicles, testing, testicles, testicles. Ooh, welcome everyone to episode 23 Hundo and Cinquenta of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy Papa Swole, yo, back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everson K2 Flexing on all you be
Fucking Catalina.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina wine.
What's up, FamWise? How are we doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show, episode 2350 in the house. It's Wednesday, October the Dose. Welcome to the show. Make sure that you are hitting that like button, sharing the stream right now. You can go to thedailyswole.com for all the live stream links. We're still not streaming on Facebook, but who the fuck uses Facebook nowadays? Anyway, we might be getting that up soon eventually, but we are live. The best place to watch is YouTube. But of course, we're available on Odyssey. We're available on Rumble, check out all the channels. We have the Swolenormous channel on Rumble. We have the Daily Swole channel on Rumble, and the same thing with Odyssey. So if you like to watch and check out the podcast and stuff on those different channels, if you use those apps, you can go and check that out as well. Welcome, Pandemonium. Let's go around. How we doing? Jeremy, Base, Jessica, Cerny, Guy, Jen. How we doing? Colin, Loretta, John. What up, Beesh? What is going on? Bow, Tyler. Hello. Come one, come all. Keith, we are ready for a little Mancast action. Fuck yeah! Are we fucking ready? Are we fucking ready? Are we ready to go? We ready to go? We're ready to do this? Okay, make sure you are checking out swolenormousx.com for all those Fuck Your Resolution specials. Let's get into today's episode. Let's bust the nut open. Let's get the card out. I think a lot of you are expecting some dick draft, but we have a little surprise today. So let's see what we got here. Ow. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Oh, that was nice. That was nice. Nice rip. All right, so we've been doing Dick Draft. That's been the Swole card for the last few days, at least, like last week or so. But I decided to mix it up a little bit today. I felt like we were in need of a thyroid card. So make sure you drop it in the comments. Hashtag but
no medication except my fucking antidepressants.
We would have gone live earlier today. But my thyroid. It would have been a dick draft card today, but my thyroid. My thyroid's acting up. It's my thyroid. It's my thyroid. It's not my lifestyle habits. It's my thyroid. All right. So hashtag but my thyroid. Drop that in the comments down below for a chance to win today's Swole card. Let's check out the Tainty Man. Aww. He's sleeping, punched out, literally just completely disaffected as usual. Let's get into the tip today. Everyone spit on it. Babe, just an inch, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right. So if you have not yet left us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, how many of you have left a review? I truly appreciate it. Make sure you leave us 5 stars if you enjoy the show. No matter where you listen, make sure that you leave a review. It helps tremendously. I cannot overstate that. It's very important that you do leave a review because, you know, we get shadow banned and flagged and all the kind of shit on all the platforms. So it helps tremendously when you share the podcast, when you leave us a review. Thank you for those of you that have done so. Really appreciate it. All right, let's get into the first Swole fan post. Today, we are starting off.
What's in the box?
Let's go. Let's take it off. Let's go with Brandon here, showing us some fucking gains. Brandon writes, flew home on the red eye from LAX, woke up before work and crushed a chest and back day today. Got 3 plates up on the T-bar rows. Feeling strong, gorilla emoji. As you should. Respect. I like that. We got one here from, oh, look at this. British Bear went on, British Bear's getting himself some wood clubs. Very nice. British Bear writes, my clubs have finally arrived. A nice gift after moving. Going to get my upper body mobility on point for more kettlebell madness. Very nice. Got himself a flow mace. Also got himself, I think the ES1 Spalding clubs and I think the ES2. So you got you though. Oh, nice. Very nice. And all walnut from Body Mind Fit. Excellent choice, British Bear. Good flowing. Enjoy those clubs. They're fantastic. You got the Kushti Carly club as well. I haven't used the big one in a while. I went really heavy with, I got to show you guys my mace and meal collection and jewelry collection. I went up to what I do. I did the massive one. I did that huge Angel Gata. And then I also did 40. I went up to the 48. It's like a 48 and a half. It's a 22 kilogram mace. That's heavy. That's heavy. So I went up to that one. I'll probably be getting a 55 in. I ordered a 44. When you start getting up really heavy in maces, and you notice this even on lower end maces, but when you start getting really heavy, it's a big jump. It's a big jump if you're not. It's nice to have that little stepping stone. But remember, if you're going heavy with clubs or maces, remember, treat it like normal training. If you're going really heavy, you wouldn't go really heavy every day. So it's nice to have those lighter clubs, like British Bear was showing. It's nice to have those lighter clubs, and then you have that base that you could do that almost every single day, and then you go heavier on some of those other days and kind of like do that maybe once or twice a week, depending, and build up. Remember, it takes a lot longer for those tendons and ligaments to develop. So make sure you're not jumping up as fast as you might with other kinds of soft tissue training, like, standard bodybuilding training. Not that you go up super quickly in weight with that, but your body takes longer to repair with those connective tissues. All right, let's get into another post here. We got one from John. Oh yeah, epic post today. All right, John writes, "Hey fam, been a while. I wanted to discuss today the importance of consistency. From March to August, I will admit I slacked. I occasionally treated myself, skipping gym days and ate things I had no business eating. I was going through separation, waiting for my divorce to be finalized, and living at a friend's house that has absolutely no interest in the 7 pillars. My excuse, I'm going through a rough time right now, and I've put in the work training for over 2 decades. The negative effects of slacking will be minimal. I need a break. I deserve this. And guess what? I was right. Of course I was. I've developed an informed, intimate relationship with my body. My waistline may be at an inch because of inflammation. No other negative reactions I'm aware of. No worries, I got this." But that's not the point. Not by a long shot. I deserved better for myself and my daughter. From March to August, I abandoned ambitious, consistent, focused, stoic John that I depended on for countless years. But there's one pillar I kept consistent, and that never waned: mindfulness. Fam, my meditation will be practiced till my final day, and it was telling me, bro, you're fucking up. You have work to do. It doesn't matter if you started training for the first time last week, a couple months ago, maybe you have piled up a few years, perhaps a decade. Your commitment to yourself is not an employer. There are no rewards for seniority here. Commit indefinitely. Be a relentless example to others on the fence wanting to be healthy that are buried in excuses and a toxic environment. Get after it, fam. Don't look back.
Great Scott!
Thank you for sharing, John. Excellent. Excellent. Well said. And yeah, there's always room. You always have the ability to make excuses. There's so many excuses you can make. Remember, any reason to not put effort into the 7 pillars is an excuse, even if it's a good excuse, even if it's a good reason. A good reason is just relative. Depends on how you frame it, right? So what's a good reason? So a good excuse is still an excuse, right? I mean, obviously, if you have a tragic event or you have a car accident, yeah, I mean, some reasons are going to be more of an obstacle. But like John was saying, there's still things you can stay focused on. And mindfulness is probably the most important, because his mindfulness practice brought him back to focus on all the other aspects of his life that he was missing out on. So welcome back, John. Welcome back to yourself. Glad to have you. And as always, but glad to hear that you are refocusing. And it's tough. And probably a huge part of it was you being in a different environment with someone, like you said, obviously was letting you stay with them, and obviously, a real solid person in that aspect. But the fact that they don't take care of themselves, that environment that you were in was not conducive to you staying on your 7 pillars, which is why it's so important for you to go internal with that and focus on the things that are right for you and how important your environment is. Nicola, brand new member to the Swole fam. Hello fam, it's nice to be here. I actually joined the fam yesterday. I have been fairly active for the last few years, but I really wanted something that gives me method and breadth, and I feel I might have found it. I was watching the videos about rest days and thinking about active rest. Is there any volume suggested for rest days? I sort of feel like 15 minutes won't cut it for me. How long do you exercise on your rest days? Remember, active rest is very different. Active recovery is very different. So I don't really like the term. I like active recovery. I don't like rest, because you're saying, I feel like 15 minutes, active rest doesn't mean 15 minutes. So get the rest term out. Fuck the rest. Fuck the rest. People sit around too much. There's too much rest in this world. That's why everyone's fat and fucking lazy. Too much rest. Active recovery. And active recovery can be literally, it could be walking and going hiking for an hour. Maybe not hardcore hiking, but going on a mountain biking trail. It could still be an hour or two. It's still active recovery. You're not lifting heavy weights. It's really about the intensity. So active recovery is usually not intense. If you're practicing mobility properly, that can be very intense. You could still do a light mobility day, but a real mobility practice, there should be days where it's very intense. Mobility is challenging and it's very intense if you're doing it properly. But active recovery doesn't have a time frame. It just means the intensity. So in other words, you're not doing a heavy hardcore session. It might just be some light work. Doesn't mean you can't work out for an hour or two. It just means that you're doing things that are going to aid in your recovery rather than break your body down and overload. So in other words, it's a different take. It's going to guide your progressive overload. It's not going to be a heavily overloading practice in the sense. It's not going to be something that is high intensity. So if you're doing like a heavy hardcore sprint day or something like that, that's not active recovery. That's intense training. It might be a different style of training than resistance training, but it's still overload. So for example, yesterday, it's like, well, I wasn't lifting weights. I was doing mace work. Yeah, but I went heavy. I went hard. I was doing really heavy mace work. So that's an intense training session. It might not have been the standard weightlifting that it might not have been other types of program, but it was still intense. So you have to keep that into perspective. And also if it's a new stress, if it's a new type of exercise or it's something different than you might normally do, there's other types of stress there too. Because if you're not adapted to it, it's a very shocking type of exposure. So you might think of it as active recovery. Hey, I'm not in a gym. I'm going to go outside and do hill sprints. Understand that just because it's different than what you normally do in the gym, that doesn't mean it's active recovery. That's also a shocking new stress on your body. So it's actually not as recovery oriented as you might think. It's a stressful situation. Your body is being exposed to a new type of, input. So it's actually very shocking and it's very overloading in a different manner, perhaps, but it's not necessarily recovery. So I would think of it more as the intensity of your training. And are you doing things that are aiding in your body's recovery? And active recovery is, are you doing things that are aiding your body in repairing so you can do another intense training session? And that's really what we're all looking for. If you're doing progressive overload, you're trying to build muscle, you're trying to make progress, you're trying to adapt, then your active recovery should be moving your body towards another heavy, intense training session. And if you're beating yourself up again, then you're not really recovering, are you? You're just adding more stress that your body has to repair. And if you're not giving yourself ample time to recover and repair between subsequent intense training sessions, then you risk injury, you risk, setting yourself up for potential disaster, just saying. So think about it in that way. You're trying to repair, and the quicker you can recover between intense training sessions within a time period, the more muscle you can build, because the more overload you can provide your body in a given time period. And this is, there's a lot of other things that go into that, but just some things to think about in that context. All right, last post here, but it's an epic one. Zachary writes, hello all. Yesterday was my 4-year sobriety date. Good for you. Are you sober or are you swoleber? 4 years since I've been drunk. 4 years since my last suicidal death wish.
Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night.
Well, that was great timing. My knuckle hit Grandpa Biden. He's always doing things. He doesn't even know where he is. So we'll just pretend that played itself. Sorry about that, Zachary. Okay. Speaking of sounding like you're drunk and speaking like you're always drunk, the perfect soundboard. 4 years since I've been drunk. 4 years since my last suicidal death wish. 4 years since I came home at 3 a.m. covered in vomit. I'm schizophrenic, as I mentioned in previous posts many moons ago. and the alcohol was a way to cope. I've been going through a very hard time with family health issues, relationships ending, losing an internship, and all of the raining and pouring bullshit that seems to mount up for people once in a while. It caused a psychotic episode. Shit. Over a year without severe hallucinations, and 2 months ago my progress with my mental health went to hell in a handbasket. Something happened this time that hasn't happened with an episode before. I didn't fall off the wagon. The gym and my exercise became my way to cope. I didn't relapse with alcohol and managed to hold on to sobriety and healthy living. My hallucinations are getting back under control with medicine, with med adjustments, and I started a new job in a volunteer position, and I'm back in school. I'm also running a 5K this Saturday for the first time since I was 17. I'm 31 now for context. I know we say weight isn't everything, but holy shit, do I feel better being 90 pounds down. At my heaviest, I would walk less than 3 miles a week. Last week, I walked 84 miles for the week. I'm training to do long distance hikes, and before that sounded like a pipe dream, and now it is real. I wanted to thank the Swole people here in the Swole fam and the 7 pillars for providing a foundation to health and fitness, both physical and mental. I love that my sobriety date is towards the beginning of fuck your resolution season, because fuck resolutions. Do it now or don't. It's always your choice. I will just say that waiting until January is missing a whole lot of opportunity for progress. Amazing post today. That's awesome. Yeah. That's great, Zachary. Glad to hear it. And just think about it. I mean, you could have let this all go to shit. You could have started drinking, and man, you would have been so frustrated with yourself. And of course, that would lead to probably more drinking and going down that rabbit hole and just feeling pity for yourself and beating yourself up about it. And that would have just been, snowball. So good for you for holding that on. And same thing with John. I mean, you're going to have things that come up in your life, and everyone's life is different. The serious of some of these things are different. I mean, some people go through tragedies and can handle it pretty well, or they know how to compartmentalize it and keep moving forward. Other people really struggle with it. But there's different types of traumas, different types of tragedies, and different types of challenges. So I think what's really important when it comes to the Swole fam and what we do here is, everyone's challenges are different. What might seem, and this is why it's important to share, because a lot of times you might not think that it's a big deal. So you don't share your challenge, or you don't share your little small win. And we have people say that, like, oh, I don't think it's really a big deal. I didn't want to share it because, whatever. But you never know what someone else is going through. And if it's a win for you, share your win. It's important, and it's all relative. So the same way that I might be, if I do an exercise with, let's say, 200 or 300 pounds, it's relative to you doing maybe 100 or 150 pounds. It depends on how long you've been lifting. It depends on all these other factors. So it's really about improving yourself, doing better for yourself, and making those incremental improvements and following the 7 pillars and building on yesterday's wins. And if you're 1% better every day, think about how long it takes for you to get 100% better. 100 days, right? So it might not seem like a big deal. And I always talk about this when it comes to fat loss. People are trying to lose extra body fat and they step on a scale. I didn't lose 2 pounds. You're not going to lose 2 pounds every week. You're not going to lose 2 pounds every month, nor should you. And you don't want to lose muscle. You want to lose fat. It's not linear, right? Life isn't linear. You don't just you don't make progress the same way you always have. You don't build muscle endlessly. You don't improve on strength endlessly. So if you want to lose 10 pounds of fat, you have to lose 1 pound 10 times. You have to lose 1 ounce 160 times, if I did the math properly, 16 ounces in a pound. So you really need to lose. You're never going to gain or lose incrementally. When you get stronger incrementally. You don't just, hey, I'm 30 pounds stronger. You improve. You just don't notice all the little small improvements, which is why setting those daily goals is so important, which is why making those little incremental measurements and awareness and being mindful, practicing brain gains and making those little instances of progress every single day or every single week, it builds. You're going to make progress one step at a time. Don't try to make leaps and bounds. It's just, it's way too much. It's way too much. You're not going to bite it all off at one time. And that's a surefire way to get frustrated. It's a surefire way to not make progress and to start beating yourself up. It's very important to measure your progress based on the you of yesterday. Don't compare yourself to other people. Be inspired, get some insights and maybe some education and learn, and, maybe it can push you forward But at the same time, don't compare yourself to other people. Your progress is at your pace. Doesn't mean you can't push. Doesn't mean you shouldn't push harder. Doesn't mean you couldn't work harder. But it just means that there's always someone that's better than you, right? There's always going to be someone stronger. There's always going to be someone faster. There's always going to be someone, unless you're that one person. So there's only one person that's the fastest. There's only one person that's the strongest. And strong in what? There's different types of strength. So, who are you really comparing yourself to? And really, when you're in a competition, when you're in a race or you're trying to do something, are you really beating someone else, or are you doing so much better than you were before that you just happen to be in first place? It's really just improving the you that was in second place or the third place. You're really just being a better version of you and performing better for you. And then, as a product of being a faster you or a stronger you, you happen in comparison to be stronger than someone else. And of course, if it's in a competitive setting, then you quote win, but it's really about improving yourself. It's really about improving yourself. All right, let's get into some knowledge cock fam. Good Swole fan post today. Heavy shit. Masterno, it is live, and please no trolling the chat. We do have moderators, and you'll be kicked if you don't have anything valuable to add, but I appreciate you being here. Welcome to the show. All right, let's see here. All right, so let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Let's get into some questions. If you have a question, drop in the comments, #AskPapaSwolio. I think some people asked some questions earlier, might have missed it. So if you do have a question, drop it again. Let's start off with a call. We'll take one from Christoph. You're live on the Daily Swole.
What's up, Papa Swolio?
What's up, Ish?
I just got done crushing fucking legs at the gym. And I'm trying to drive my stick shift home. Fuck. Anyways, my question for you is, you've got big legs. Do you chafe? I chafe like a motherfucker. And I don't want to put no nasty shit on my legs. Because fuck all that shit. It's bad. Need a good lotion. My balls are chapped.
You got chapped? Is that it? You got chapped sack? Oh, chapped sack.
Inconceivable!
Damn. Do I chafe? I used to more. My legs are bigger than they used to be, but I don't chafe. I notice I don't chafe quite as much. I do have hair worn away in there. You could rub some tallow on it. Could just be the choice of your undergarments or your shorts or things that you're wearing. That could be an issue too. I actually don't really have an issue. I don't notice it. Maybe it's just because I have thicker skin, I'm just calloused up or in there. But I'm looking down right now. Yeah, I have, I could see the hair worn away in there. So, I don't know why you would be chafing unless you need to choose better apparel, so to speak. The shorts that I wear, I pretty much, it works well for me. It works well for me. I don't get chafing on my ball sack though. That sounds painful. I think you might just be being hyperbolic there. Your sack is chafing. I don't know. But inner thighs, yeah, you can put some stuff on it. You can put some, just rub some beef fat on it. You can put some beef tallow on it. You can use some other oils. I know there's probably some other products, but you want to make sure that you're not using any type of things with parabens and phthalates and, fragrances and shit like that. So you might want to change your undergarments or your underwear, what you're wearing. Just make sure you're not pinning your ball sack in there. It can negatively affect your testicles and your sperm production and shit like that. Any other options or any other thoughts? Some people have irritation. It might definitely rub together, but I don't feel chafing to that extent. I did in the past. I used to wear those Under Armour spandex undergarments, which really isn't good. You usually want to use cotton or things like that, but you're not going to find a lot of products like that. And they would always wear. They would always wear on the inside. After a while, I have to throw them out because they'd just be ripped on the inside of those compression shorts and stuff. Yeah, we're getting throttled like crazy from YouTube. So just stay with it. Obviously, if you're listening to the podcast, you won't feel any of that. So we'll see how it goes. Let's take some live questions. Brenda, what kind did you get? You can get them from Amazon, but the 2-pound clubs are not going to be metal. They're probably going to be some kind of like plastic or PVC type, because if you make them out of metal or steel, they're not going to be 2 pounds. So when you have a longer club, there's more torque. So this is why some of the wood clubs that I have are heavier. They feel heavier than some of the shorter steel because of the length. And the length is going to make it a big difference. If the weight is further away from your grip point, there's more torque, so it's going to be more challenging. That's why if you're getting larger clubs or longer clubs or different things like that, you want to make sure that you're dropping the weight because the torque is going to make a huge difference. So we have links on the Amazon store for the ones that I use, or the steel clubs, but you can find them all over Amazon too. But the 2 pounds are usually not going to be metal. I think if you go 3, I'm not sure if you can find 3 pounds. Okay, so we're going to have like a double stream just for the audio. This was continuous, but it said the stream stopped, so I just kicked it back on. If we're having continuous problems, we're just going to roll through. So we're going to continue. Let's get into some questions from Instagram, and then as people come back, the stream just got interrupted for a second. We're having a lot of bandwidth issues right now. YouTube is throttling hard. Shocker. This one's from Instagram, Wood MCR, Papa Swole. I am trying to focus on abs. Any suggestions? Yeah, train your fucking abs. Planks, leg raises. I mean, the standard thing for abs, kettlebell work, mace work, all that stuff. Chances are you want to see your abs. That's going to come down to your nutrition and cutting out inflammation, getting better sleep. So strengthening your abs is like strengthening any other muscle, but training your abs is not going to make them more visible per se. You still want to have muscle there so you can see your abs. Of course, you need to develop them, but it's going to come down to what's on top of it covering. Okay, let's see. Mario, really good question on Instagram. Is it hard to find underwear with those big balls of yours? Oh, good question. I don't wear underwear. Oftentimes, I just wear shorts. Let the balls flop around. Not good to keep them pulled up towards the body. Let them hang, motherfucker. Let them hang. Mark Beaupre. Papa Swolio, standard barbell deadlift versus trap bar deadlift. Well, versus, you're asking for the difference. It's going to be the center of gravity. If you're using a trap bar, aka one of those like hex bars. So trap bar is usually a half bar. So in other words, you'll be able to keep the weight around your midline. So it won't put as much pressure on your lower back. It'll be a little bit more glute oriented in many cases. It really depends. It really depends on your length, your limb length, for what it would hit more. But if you are doing a standard barbell deadlift, like a standard conventional, not like the sumo shit, trap bar or hex bar is safer for the lower back just because of the lever action. It's very similar to what Brenda was asking about what Brenda was asking about the torque and asking about the clubs. The length is going to make a big difference. So if you're holding weight to the front, it's going to put more pressure, on your glutes and your posterior chain, but also on your lower back. So if you have back issues or you have any kind of mobility issues, a trap bar or hex bar could be a better option. Plus the grip can feel better. And deadlifts are one of those exercises that a lot of people just think, oh, I'm just going to do deadlifts the way everyone does deadlifts. And I think this is something that's not explained properly. You might be a lot better doing deadlifts, raising the bar up or like putting some other plates underneath it's like the SATs or some kind of like bullshit standardized test. It's not going to be, some people don't take tests very, very well. They're intelligent, they're able to learn, but that's not how they learn. That's not how they can spit back the knowledge. So a standardized test isn't customized for an individual. Same thing with weights, with like a standard deadlift. It's the same bar from the same spot, from the same location, the same pull, but everyone has different limb lengths. You have people that are 6'5", you have people that are 5'3", you have people with long legs, short arms, shorter legs, long arms, relatively speaking. So everyone's going to have different, a different like lever, and different muscle insertions. So depending on your genetics, you might have naturally better structure for pulling a lot. That's why you'll see some people that pull fucking ridiculous amounts of weight with the deadlift, but they don't really look that muscular. They don't really have a great physique and they're not really strong in other lifts. So everyone's a little bit different. It's just one lift. It's not the be all end all. People put a lot too much pressure on deadlifts and, the sun doesn't rise and set with fucking deadlifts. I think it's a great exercise, very fundamental, very functional, but it's really about the posterior chain and there are many different ways to train it. So find what works best for you and then go with it. There are many different ways to do deadlifts. Many different ways. So in other words, try them, right? Which one do you like the best? I think that's important to understand. Brenda, I bought Ultimate Body Press Indian clubs, a 2-pound set. I'm ordering 1-pound ones. Papa is getting popular. Lighter clubs are going out of stock fast. Good. Circular strength training is fantastic. Yep. Blowing that shit up online. That's for sure. A lot of people are getting into club work. Glenna Craft, does grass-fed lamb have the same nutritional value as grass-fed steak? I love both. Good, eat both. It's definitely not the same. I think you'll probably get some more value out of grass-fed steak. I don't know all the micronutrient values between lamb, but grass-fed lamb is a very clean, it's a very good source. And a lot of times if you're going out to eat at a restaurant and you don't have a choice or you're having, let's say they don't have grass-fed beef, lamb is also a good option. It's generally probably be cleaner than grain-fed beef if you're eating somewhere out, but grass-fed lamb is a good option. Is it like the same? Is it as good as beef? I would say no, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. So I would mix it in. Yeah, there's no problem having grass-fed lamb. It's a good option for sure. Rihanna, Papa Solio, my grandma might have her cancer returning. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And it's causing some overall worry as we wait for the full biopsy to come back. Is there any specific brain gains you would recommend while we wait? Like for you, any specific one? No, I don't have there's no cancer brain gains. There is one for loss, but I wouldn't necessarily tap into that one. You might make you more appreciative of the time you have with her. I forgot which one that is, but you'll have to poke through and see which one hits a little bit better. There's no particular one. Yeah, there is one. I forget what number it is because they're not discerned. They're not labeled in that fashion, I don't believe. If anyone else knows, you could drop that in the chat. There is one about a relative. There is one about family or someone important to you. All right, let's see here. Let's get that one. All right, any other questions live? Let's take one more question. I know the connection or the YouTube stream is kind of funky today, so apologies for that. Let's take one more call, and then we'll get into some balls deep, and we'll just keep on moving right along. We'll just keep the questions a little bit shorter today. From Sir Tyler. Ooh, is this our Tyler, or is this?
How's it going, Papa Swole? My question to you is, do you have to have a set plan to know what to do in the gym? And if that's the case, I may have a little bit of a difficult time with that, if so, because I would just go to the gym, pick 4 to 5 exercises, and just push them out. I'd do upper body 3 times a week, excuse me, legs twice a week. But for me, I feel like if I pick certain exercises that I haven't done in a while, or the same exercises that I have been doing for quite some time, and I feel like there's no changes in the strength or the muscle growth, but this may be a confusing question, but hopefully you can, I guess, comprehend what I'm trying to say. Appreciate you.
All right, I'm going to just give you a response because I don't really know where you're exactly going with it. But first off, if you're not tracking or you're not aware of what you're doing, what you've been doing, your assessment of your progress is bullshit. So you're trying to like, I don't know what I'm doing. I pick random stuff. I push it out, but I don't know if I'm making, you're not breaking. Of course you're not making progress. You're not tracking or doing anything consistently. So do you have to go in with the plan? I mean, you should go in with the plan. If you get to a certain level, you might not have to track anymore. Personally, I don't write things down. I'm not tracking things obsessively. You know, maybe I'll do it again, but I did when I first started, and it's very valuable. You think you're going to remember shit, but you won't. You think you're going to remember shit, but you won't. So if you're going into the gym and doing random shit, of course you're not going to make progress because you're not doing anything consistently. So you have to figure out what you want to accomplish and what you want to achieve, and then go in with a structure and track it. That way you know what you did last time and you know how you're improving. Because oftentimes you're improving more than you think. You just don't have any reference point. So in your head, you're like, oh, I just don't feel good today. I'm not making progress. I used to do that too. And I used to track everything in these composition books, and I would look back and I would think, I'm like, I'm not doing that great today. Or like, you know, whatever, I was curling 30s or 45s. And I would look back from earlier in the books and I would see that I was curling 20s. And I was super excited that I was curling 20s. You realize, holy shit, I'm doing double what I used to do. You realize how much progress you've made. So if you're not tracking things, how the fuck are you going to know what you're doing or what you're improving on? So right now you're in like a low mood because you think you're not getting stronger, but how the fuck would you know? Right? So I would definitely have some sort of a structure. I would write down, you know, how many sets are doing, what your reps are hitting and where you're at. That way you know what an improvement would be. And if you're trying to get stronger, then you know if you're actually getting stronger. And if you're doing random exercise all the time, then your body is getting this alarm reaction without getting the opportunity to adapt and actually build strength. It's just under shock all the time. So training with certain exercises consistently, a lot of people just want this novelty because you're used to seeing different things pop up on Instagram or TikTok, or you're flipping through everything on your phone. It's like constant stimulation. You're just getting eye fucked and ear fucked. Everything is new. Every food is different. Everything is just a shock. Everything is so stimulating. And then you go to the gym, you're like, I'm doing the same thing for 2 weeks in a row. Oh my God, 2 fucking weeks. 2 fucking weeks. Oh my goodness. Your body takes months to adapt to things. So it's important to, if you tweak your training, it doesn't mean you can't swap in one new exercise, but doing 4 different exercises, different rep schemes, different things completely, you know, your body isn't getting a chance to adapt. So subtle tweaks is one thing. Changing the reps, adding a little bit of weight and dropping the reps, that's an adjustment, but it's not something so seismic that your body is not able to adapt to the force and the stress that you're putting under. All right, let's get into some balls deep content. Let's fucking go. Good questions, fam. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Good questions.
That's deep.
All right, so again, apologies. It's not me. We're getting a little bit censored, flagged, restricted. Who the fuck knows? But of course, you can catch the podcast, and it'll be completely smooth. We had to restart this once or twice. So what we'll try to do is mark it as part 1 and part 2. I'm not sure if it'll show up that way on Odyssey or Rumble, but on YouTube, we can probably have to mark it as part 1 or part 2. But the podcast will have it all. And if you didn't get your question answered, some of you might have asked a question. Some of you might have asked a question, but it didn't come through, and the chat's all fucking whack. So you can also submit a question, go to askpapaswole.com, call in, leave a question, then we'll get to it in an upcoming episode. So we'll be back here tomorrow. Hopefully things are a little bit better tomorrow. It seems like it's pretty stable now, but it was a little bit rocky earlier if you're just joining in. So hit the like button, share the stream, and let's get into first balls deep post. Before we do, let's get everyone a chance to share the stream and come on in. We have some new apparel over there at papaswole.com. Check out the brand new Depth Vader. Fucking sick design. I find your quarter reps disturbing. We also have Go to the Fucking Gym Frosty the Swole Man. That's a sick design. Use code DailySwole for 10% off. We also have the brand new Vegan Tears mugs and the apparel made with 100% vegan tears. Indeed, indeed. Eat your steak. Back to the fucking gym. We also have Harry Squatter, the full-blown image, updated Harry Squatter 2.0. And of course, we have other designs like Swole Pilled and Swoleopoly and Swoler things. So go and check out all those new designs over there at papaswolio.com. .com. And fuck you, YouTube, for jacking up our flow today. But we do it. We do it. And you think about it. I used to get more frustrated when it would cut out and shit like that. But it's just like the roll of the dice. right? It's just the roll of the dice. You do 2,350 episodes every fucking day. There's going to be some hiccups, right? You drive on the highway, eventually you're going to hit a fucking pebble. Like there's going to be some bumps in the road. There's going to be a pothole somewhere. You know, you ever drive up the East Coast or the West Coast? Every once in a while, you have one area where they just don't fund highway repairs. And there's potholes and shit roads everywhere. It is what it is. Pick a number, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
What's in the box?
Yow. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Number Schwam, number Stu, number 3, or number 4. And of course, the connection would have been better today, but it's my it's my thyroid. I know. It would have been a smooth podcast today, but it was my thyroid, or YouTube's thyroid. But YouTube's thyroid. Hashtag but my thyroid. All right. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Cerny says number 3. Let's go number 3. Cerny from the Daily Soul Telegram chat. Number 3. Holy shit. All right. This is going to be painful. Everyone get ready. This is called Fat People Better in Bed.
We choose truth over facts.
Oh, God. Well, they like things in their mouth, that's for sure. Okay. Oh, God. Here we go.
So in my opinion, one of the most demeaning, most awful stereotypes about fat people is in fact that we are good at sex. Now, before this starts to sound too puritanical and moralizing, let's talk about why. With any stereotype, positive or negative, you want to look just a bit deeper than the surface assumption and ask, why is this a stereotype? Like, where is this coming from? So in this case, the question is, what about fat people makes us better at sex? Those were air quotes if you couldn't see. And there's a few things here. The first is simply supply and demand. I know it sounds so gross, but the assumption is that fat people are not as in demand. And so because the supply is high and the demand is low, they're gonna like do anything they can to get sex. So hence you have the idea that fat people are really wild and freaky in the bedroom. The idea basically is that they are desperate to please. And of course, men often love this idea because they feel that they have the power to dictate how the sexual encounter goes. And they believe that fat women are less likely to tell them no. This is also why so many guys will approach fat women and right away start talking about their bodies or start making things sexual. It's because they think that the evidence of their
This is like if Wednesday Addams went on like a taco binge for like a couple months.
Attraction to you, a fat person, will make you more likely to say yes to them. Because again, it is assumed that our self-esteem is low and we are willing to accept crumb. I think in here is also an idea that because she's unencumbered from social mores, because she lives in the world as a fat person and isn't shallow like the skinny girls, she's more likely to be freaky in bed. A lot of times when people try to give fat people humanity or express some kind of positive view of them, especially in media, the trope will be, oh, this fat person is like more enlightened, she's better, she eats, she's a human being, she's more willing to like get dirty, if you will, in every sense of the word. And then of course, there is the classic fat girls give better, which we talk about in my podcast this week with Megs for Fun.
Because we like Twinkies.
I always assumed this was like a desperation, eager to please kind of thing. But what Megan said was that it's about eating.
Yep.
And that blew my brains out. It's literally like, oh, she's gonna gobble down because she loves to gobble down food so much.
Yes.
And I think that brings us back to the crux of this stereotype, which is that fat people have insatiable appetites for food as well as sex. And if you've ever read any of the work of Dr. Sabrina Strings or anybody else who talks about the origins of fatphobia, and it's...
I will never pay attention to anyone named Dr. Sabrina Strings. Is that a name? That's a porn name. Sabrina Strings. The fuck is that? Sabrina Strings to the main stage. Sabrina Strings to the main stage. That's not a real name.
Roots in racism, you will find that these two things have been linked together since the beginning. And that they are both stereotypes of black people, which were then applied to fatness. So yeah, you're getting a whole buffet of tropes and stereotypes with this one, no pun intended. And that is why it is my least favorite.
Oh, man. So it's not just things that are going in your mouth, it's all this bullshit coming out. That's fucking bullshit. Yikes. Yikes. Gross. Gross. All right, we got 2 more. Let's pick a number 1 or 2. 1 or 2. We have one that's really long. We'll do that tomorrow. That's what she said. So we'll save that one for tomorrow. It's like a 5-minute video. I don't have the patience for it today. But it's a big one. So we'll save that for tomorrow. Pick a number 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Let's go positive charisma, number Schwam. Positive charisma, number Schwam. This is titled Americans Are Fat. I mean, they are. All right, here we go.
It's the most annoying thing about Americans.
They eat too much food.
Fact.
Yeah.
They're fat.
Oh, it's a stitch. Oh my. Oh. Ooh. Spooky, spooky skeletons. Your fucking head. What's going on here? You know what she looks like? She looks like that guy from, let me see if I can bring a picture. She looks like that senator from Gladiator, the one with the eyebrows. Gladiator character with eyebrows. Let me bring out the picture. Oh, yeah. She looks exactly like him. Nailed it. The barbarian hordes. Let me get a good picture. Oh my God, this is great. Looks just like him. I got a picture. Yep. That's it. That is it. All right. That's what she looks like. Let's see if we can pull this up. She looks like that. That's who she looks like. Yeah. Fucking dead on. Dead on. Dead on. This guy. The barbarian hordes. All right, let's go back to this. Let's go back to the gunch. All right, here we go.
It's the most annoying thing about Americans.
They eat too much food.
Yeah.
They're fat.
Aren't you all tired yet? I mean, that's the most annoying thing about Americans, that we're fat. Did you know that in every culture and in every country of the world, there is a fat person?
Oh my God, there's a fat person in every country. Good luck finding fat people in China. Go find fat people in China. Go find fat people in North Korea. Go find fat people in India. Not as common. Not as common in other countries. And that's a fact. Oh my God, because there might be a fat person in another country. Yo, like 90% of the population's overweight or obese in this fucking country. So yeah. Stereotypes are often true. Yeah, Americans are fat. That's the truth. Are all Americans fat? No, sweetheart. Stop playing semantics. Americans are fat as fuck. Not everyone. Not everyone. But drop a pin on the map. Like literally pick a random person on the street and they're unhealthy. At least unhealthy. They're fat, they're obese, they're overweight. For sure.
America, the US specifically, did not invent fatness. Okay? And also, you're going to tell me that our sense of nationalism isn't the most...
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there so I can play the soundboard.
God damn it, I don't know what it is about your face, but I want to deliver one of these right in your suck hole.
Is there anything I can do to work on that?
No, not really. It's your face.
I don't like... You know what? It's really... I'm just saying, like, you know, this podcast is not... I'm not here to be a nice person. I'm not here to care. Like, look, if you're going to come at me with a video this is all you're showing me is your face, it hurts. Like, I don't like it. You don't have to like mine either. So I'm not saying you have to like my face. I'm not saying I have a great face. I just don't like yours. And you're not giving me anything else to judge here. So it's not nice to judge. It's pretty much like fundamental evolution is to judge things in our environment. And I don't like what's in my fucking eyeballs right now. It hurts. Fucking this your face. Oh, it's your face. It's your face.
You're going to tell me that our sense of nationalism isn't the most annoying thing? You're going to tell me that our obsession with reality TV isn't the most annoying thing?
That sucks too.
You're going to tell me that Donald Trump is not the most annoying thing?
He's not. You are.
I absolutely cannot.
Oh, God. You are. I don't find Trump annoying. He says some stupid shit. I don't find him annoying. I find you annoying. Like, that's subjective. Like, annoying? Like, oh, God, your fucking mouth. Our sense of nationalism? Where? Yeah, in some places. Where? Where's our sense of nationalism? Oh, I forgot you're trying to deconstruct colonization. Because the United States is so bad. It's such a bad place. It's such a bad place. Oh, it's so bad here. Let's put her on the first flight to Saudi Arabia and see how she likes the culture over there. Let's send her out. It would be great to put one of those burqas. Burqa that shit. Burqa that shit up. Do us all a favor. Yeah. Terrible United States. This is an awful place. Awful place. We have to, I mean, fuck, the Constitution, human rights, and oh my God, it's terrible. Terrible, terrible place here. Oh my God. It's a horrible, horrible place. It's so awful. It's so much better everywhere else in the world. It really is. Everywhere else. Everywhere is so much better than here. This is terrible here. Terrible. Terrible. Anyway, let's, yeah, that was pretty bad. That was pretty annoying. Let's do one more video. I know we're getting throttled again. It's been one of those days. Today's episode is a struggle, but we're making it through. We'll do one more video. This one's called, let's just roll right into it. This one is titled Fatphobia Kills. And hopefully we have better luck.
What's in the box?
And YouTube fucks off tomorrow. Allows us to goddamn stream, motherfuckers.
This. 100% fucking this. Fatphobia unalives people every year.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I don't... Okay, I'm going to stop this right here. I don't hate other cultures. I don't. But, man, your accent is fucking ridiculous. Oh, my God, this right here, the fatphobia. You have a tongue in your mouth. You have a tongue in your mouth. Use it. Fucking mouth breather. Use it. Strengthen your hyoid muscles. Like, fucking use it. Use your tongue to enunciate. Look at your nails. You have like baby diarrhea green and like magenta. What is that? Oh my God, fatphobia. All right, I got that in my. I gotta get out of my system. I have to get it out of my system. I feel better. You're welcome to your accents. I do like accents. I just don't. Here's the thing. It's not the accent. It's the stupid coming out of. It's the stupid words. It's not the accent. It's just the stupid words. And like I hear the stupid, and it's really about the stupid words, not the accent. It just makes it worse, right? Like certain accents make the stupid more stupid. But it's fundamentally the stupid. I don't mind the accent. It just pisses me off that the accent is being just destroyed with these fucking sounds and vowels and consonants that it's forming or trying to form. So it's really about the stupid shit that's being said. The accent is just amplifying it. Some accents just amplify the stupid shit. God damn it. All right. So what it's responding to is this question that says fatphobia kills. And I'm tired of our society being like this. Fatphobia doesn't kill. You being fat kills yourself. It's called evolution, survival of the fittest, but we'll save that discussion for biology 101. If you're a woman and fat, Your chances of dying from doctors not caring are pretty high. Jesus Christ. It's not your responsibility at all. You know, if you're going to the doctor for health, you're fucked. You're fucked. You're destroying your health and then going to the doctor and like, fix me, fix my fat body. And doctor's like, be less fat. Start eating healthier. Like, take care of yourself. No, it's fat phobia. I mean to me. The doctor's like, shit, I can't do anything in 10 minutes. I can't do anything to help you if you won't help yourself. Okay.
This, 100% fucking this. Fatphobia unalives people every year. How? How, you might ask?
Oh, you said unalives people? Unalives people? Oh, you're an idiot. Oh, you went full retard.
You went full retard, man.
Oh, unalives people. I don't think I can make it through this video. Ah, another minute of stupid. Fuck. And your stupid septum piercing. Fuck.
Every year. How? How, you might ask? Primarily through the misdiagnosis, underdiagnosis, or completely ignoring your patients. If you go and look at any of my...
What doctor completely ignores their patients? Someone tell me. A doctor... Look, I'm not saying the medical system... It's a hot mess. Ignoring patients? I mean, I guess with like the vaccines and the experimental drugs and the gene therapy, they're like, you get this. No, but I'm allergic. No, but I don't want this. No, you must have it. So, I mean, doctors... Most of these doctors are fucking criminals from that aspect too. I'm no fan, but oh God, they can all just walk off a cliff.
My doctor videos on my feed, they are filled with people being like, yeah, I went to the doctor for this. He told me to lose weight.
You know what's funny is that she has captions because I'm reading the captions, by the way. I don't know if any of you are, I'm also reading the captions because I have no idea what these sounds are meaning. I don't know what the sounds are. I'm just looking at the fucking captions and trying not to listen.
I went to the doctor for that and she told me it was because I was fat. I've heard stories of people being misdiagnosed as fat when they had ovarian cancer.
They're being misdiagnosed as fat. Misdiagnosed as fat. Well, guess what? The lifestyle habits that led to that caused your fucking cancer. You don't think shoving tampons with chemical trash in your pussy for 20 years doesn't cause ovarian cancer? Pads, all the spandex and synthetics that you're putting on your puss, the tampons and pads, right? The douches, all the fucking cleansers that you're putting on your vagina. Yeah, that's what's causing this shit. That's what's causing it. All the shit that you're consuming, your birth control, all these things are leading to ovarian cancer. But it's not that.
Cancer. Even things like...
Say that again. Cancer. Cancer.
Cancer.
Cancer.
Even things... Cancer.
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 Someone remix.
Cancer.
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 Cancer. Cancer.
Cancer. Even things like Crohn's disease, intestinal diseases, IBS. When you're like, oh, my tummy hurts, they're like, you should lose weight. It'll help.
All right, the doctor's telling someone to lose weight, that doesn't work. They need to change lifestyle habits. No one's going to fucking do it. So it's easier to blame a doctor than to blame your lifestyle habits. We've been here.
Massive weight gain because of pituitary tumors. And they're like, oh, you should go on a diet. I've got a fucking brain tumor. I mean, not me, but you know. The sad truth is that a lot of GPs are under a time crunch. They don't have enough time to do a proper assessment of their patients at every visit. 15 minutes is often not enough.
That's true. They don't have enough time, but they also don't have the education. They don't. You might be like, oh, the doctor knows more. They know how to prescribe drugs. They don't get nutrition. They don't get nutrition training. They don't understand endocrine disruptors. They do not understand any of this stuff. They're taught to prescribe drugs. They do not have time. They have to keep on handing out scripts so they can move on to the next person so they can pay their malpractice insurance and their overhead and the medical billing. That's all it is. That's all it is. And the pharmaceutical companies are locked in with the insurance companies. Everyone's jerking each other off and you're getting fucked. So opt out of this sick care system. Take care of your health. You're not going to get health at a doctor. You're not going to get health at a doctor. For fuck's sake, these idiots. You're not going to get healthy at a doctor. Go to a doctor, go to an emergency room if you break your leg. If you get into a car accident, emergency medicine, fan-fucking-tastic. But health, fuck all the way off. If you go to a doctor, you're going to get more sick. If you go to a doctor, you are going to be on some kind of medication that's going to give you tons of side effects and can potentially make the matters worse. And then, of course, you can't sue any of these companies because you have liability restrictions for, you have to prove it and they have more money than you. And you're just going to get fucked over and experimented on until you fucking die and get hooked on these blood pressure medications and these statins and all this bullshit until you fucking drop dead. You're just a subscriber. It's like a Netflix. You're on a subscription. Of course, you're going to take this medication for the rest of your life because you don't want to die, rather than actually change your lifestyle habits. It's bullshit. It's just a subscription service. You're just becoming a lifelong subscriber. Boom, checked another one off. Cool. Now we hit our quota and we can, give back more to our shareholders and get another yacht. That's all it is.
But it's definitely enough time to get in and get out if your doctor hasn't done the anti-bias work that they need to do to be able to recognize that fat people are humans too, and they come in with
Oh, fat people are humans? That's why you're called people. You're just unhealthy.
set of symptoms that might be different from your average person, but also do not always automatically correlate back to your fat.
Lifestyle habits. Lifestyle habits are making you fat. Lifestyle habits are making you fat. Exposing yourself to toxins are making you fat. Your sleep habits are making you fat. Your exposure to blue light is making you fat. Your consumption of inflammatory foods and excessive caloric consumption of vegetable and seed oils and processed sugars are making you fat. Your lack of exercise is making you fat. Your cortisol levels from all these other stressors in your life are making you fucking fat. All right. Excellent. Good talk. Good talk.
Attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Good talk. Good talk.
No medication except my fucking antidepressants.
All right. Hashtag butt my thyroid. We have a couple awesome contenders for today. Again, we had a little bit of some glitches. So if you're watching the video, there might be a part 1 or part 2. But of course, we will have all of the podcast in continuity on the audio stream. So make sure you're subscribed and catch the rest of it. Today's Swole card winner, we had a bunch of great Swole fan posts. Today's winner is going to be Zachary. Straight up. John, it was an awesome post too. I know no one's sharing those posts in order to win a Swole card, but this is a heavy fucking post. They were both heavy fucking posts. And Zachary, if you missed this Swole fan post, make sure you go back to the beginning of the episode and pay more attention. This is fantastic, and super stoked for staying focused. And even if we fall off, like John was talking about, Zachary, that we get back up and we get back on our flow as efficiently as possible. And the better that we are focusing on our 7 pillars, the more efficiently we can do so. So congratulations, Zachary. Sent us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2350 in the subject, mailing address in the body of the email. And as always, hopefully tomorrow we have a better run in terms of the streaming. Make sure you go and comment on Zachary's post and let him know he won today's Swole card. Congratulations. We'll take some soundboard requests.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you
While
help
we
me?
nut this beach, and we have a great show tomorrow as well, so get ready for that. Thanks for sticking through today, fam. I know sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating. If I had it my way, of course, it'd be a perfect stream every day. But it happens, and we push through, and we'll get it again tomorrow. For show. For show. For show. For show. Little Tainty Man. He's boring today, isn't he?
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
I like to caress rusty spoons.
Lieutenant Dan.
Oh yeah.
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean?
Emotional damage.
Oh, we got it now.
Matt Damon.
Wait, your biggest stickers fears of this.
Loud noises!
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
Ooh, baby.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Boys have a penis, girls have vagina.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and to get hot, I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in and pull and rub my leg down, so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
Got that out just in time. All right, fam. Thank you so much for being here. Crank that back up. So we made it through. We got it. And let me tell you, tomorrow we got some epic videos. We got a lot of stuff to go through tomorrow. So it's going to be another great show. I hope you are here for it. We'll be doing it again in the morning. So make sure you're there for that. And of course, join the fam, swolenormousx.com, in order to access all those amazing specials, and check all the links down below to submit a question, to share the podcast, catch the live streams, check out apparel, all of that shit. And we'll be back here tomorrow for 2350 Schwam. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, chill. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant, on topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no